What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. This episode is going to be geared towards the fitness series, and I find this very, very important, especially right now with so much information, so much tips, and so many people online posting what they eat, how they lift, how they train, how they get in shape, how they build muscle, how they get healthy. There's a lot of information out there, and it can be a little bit daunting and a little bit heavy for a lot of people to try to consume. But one thing that I've noticed in the past few years is because of all this exposure to people's routines and people's habits, unfortunately, too many people, and this is the human mindset will always pick what's most comfortable and what's easiest. A lot of the people that I see in the gym that don't have that real mature experience with staying in shape, staying healthy, staying lean, building good muscle tissue for a sustained amount of time, 10 years or more, at least. It's a small piece of a 60, 70, 80-year-old life. It might seem a lot to somebody who's new to the gym, but it's not. It's something really small. It's like someone saying to you that I've been brushing my teeth for 4 years now. I'm really good at it. And you being like, fuck, that's normal. Like, why wouldn't you be good at it? So people's minds will always try to choose, when they have the choices, the easiest one. That's how humans are built. We want comfort. We want easy access. And unfortunately, a lot of the participants in the gym, a lot of the coaches, a lot of the trainees, a lot of the trainers, even a lot of the, influencers and online personas are following methods that are just not going to work for them. And they're failing. Most part I see with this, obviously with the training, I see people switching their training routines up, lifting way too heavy with bad form and not even engaging the muscle tissues that they're trying to use because of ego, because of somebody else that they like, that they follow. They're a big fan of them and this is how they train. And I see them months and months and months in the gym and not really developing a decent physique, having anything to showcase for it. But the worst part of it is the food, because the gym is what, 3 hours a week, 4 hours a week, 5, maybe 6 for someone who really likes going to exercise, whether they're training at home or in a facility. But the food is a 24-hour thing. So they always choose the wrong choices because of what they see. And I'm going to tell you from anecdotal experience how this works. So a lot of you guys out there are eating the heavy amounts of calories, getting in the abundant amount of carbohydrates, and a lot of these sources, a lot more than 10%, is coming from processed foods. It's coming from creams, sauces, processed pastries. It's coming from overload of pastas, really bad simple carbohydrates to have in an abundance because of your insulin sensitivity. And the junk food, the refeeds, the cheat meals, the legs day breakfasts, the back day breakfasts, the post workout meal that's enough food to feed a family. And they don't have anything worthy to showcase. I'm sorry to say that, but no one would look twice at these people if they were, to put them in that bundle of the higher echelon of physiques, and someone would ask them, hey man, what are you doing? Or hey, what are you doing, girl? How do you look like that? They don't have the results to follow that process because they're following what seems comfortable and fun and like a fad for them. And they're taking advice from people and it gets sent down. The person at the top that was doing it is that elite level athlete with great genetics and has well over a decade behind them. And they're on performance enhancing drugs, real ones, good quality ones. So they've got all these things working for them that all these people, then it gets passed to the next person in that gym, in that town, and then the next person and the next person, into 5 more coaches. And those 5 turn into 20 more coaches because they each teach this to 4 people, and then it turns into thousands at the bottom of the pyramid. And these are the people that I see every single day in the gym. That information doesn't suit you. It doesn't serve you because you don't have those genetics. You don't have those 10 years of never missing a session, never missing a meal, never missing a cardio session. You don't have that density, that maturity, that experience, and you don't have those genetics, and you don't have those drugs. I see people on the internet and all over the country that I live in, enhanced, eating like this, and they have sorry physiques. They have nothing worthy. And they're teaching this to the people paying them money, the people that are paying them money to try to get in shape. And they like this. You know, somebody who's trying to get in shape would love to hear like, oh, you know what? Twice a week, I get a nasty breakfast from IHOP, and 2 dinners of mine, I get to have Domino's pizza and bagels and donuts. And then, you know, I get to do this on the weekend. And every time I feel down or upset, I get a refeed or I get a junk meal. It doesn't work like that. If it worked like that, you would have that physique. So leaving everybody outside of that, I'm just going to tell you anecdotally my experience, my truth. So we can take out this, you know, opinions and negativity if it comes towards anybody in this video. I've been training for 29 years. And for 14, 15 years of that, I trained drug-free. And then I was enhanced. I was an enhanced athlete. I went 100% hard for almost a good decade of my life. What I did when I was enhanced, and I've got good genetics. I've got good genetics. No fat people in my family. You know, we have good proportions. We have good tie-ins, good bone structure when it comes to bodybuilding. I know I don't want to get too scientific with this, but I've got good genetics. And I've got a massive base. Nobody right now has got 15 years in the gym going enhanced free that's in bodybuilding, or that's a regular everyday gym rat. Nobody. They've all broken that oath to themselves and delved into that year 2, year 3, year 5. So within that time frame of when I was using performance enhancing drugs, I could lift in ways that now in my 40s, as a drug-free adult trying to balance out life, there's no way I can train like that. I can't even come close to what I used to do. And I used to eat a certain amount of calories that there's no way I can process right now. There's no way I can put that stuff into my body. Not for 3-4 days, let alone 3-4 years. And there's no way right now I can get away with eating those foods that I was eating when I was enhanced, because my body was doing something completely different with those macros and those empty calories and that 20 to 25% sometimes of processed foods coming in from sauces and condiments and processed foods from cheese here or the bread here, or, you know, the breakfast, assorted different types of stuff that we use. There's no way for me to be in this shape now. When you see these pictures of me lean and ripped in my 40s, I'm 35 pounds lighter. I'm 35 pounds lighter. I'm eating 1/3 of the food that I used to eat then. I'm doing double to triple the amount of activity, of cardiovascular activity, to be able to process that food and to be able to burn that fat. I can't just sit around and have that body that was 100 some kgs of pure muscle with a metabolism through the roof that cooks and fries through everything and have a 6-pack. It won't work. If it worked, don't you think I would like to eat fucking 12-pack of donuts 3 times a week before I do legs or do back or go do cardio? You don't think I want to eat Burger King and McDonald's 3-4 times a week and have, you know, an assortment of cereals to eat for post-workout and just throw my protein shake in there? It ain't gonna work. My skin's gonna change, my mood's gonna change, my digestive tract's gonna change, my bathroom visits are gonna change, my performance is gonna change, my cognitive ability is going to change in the gym and with work and with dealing with life and stress. I can't do what I used to do. I'm not saying I can't do what other people used to do. I'm telling you that I can't do what I used to do. It just doesn't work. Everything will go downhill. And unfortunately, too many people in the health, fitness, gym industry are starting their voyage. They're starting their journey with this mindset of that this is the way I'm going to succeed. This is how I build muscle and get stronger, and then I cut some of it and I do it again and I cut some of it. They're going to learn the hard way. They're going to learn the hard way. You can't look at what the pros are doing or the elites are doing or the enhanced are doing. And I'm saying this specifically to you guys that really love the gym, that really love bodybuilding or CrossFit or powerlifting, guys and girls. Whether you're using a little bit of performance enhancing drugs or some help on the side or a fair amount, none of the shit you're using is real. None of that stuff is clean. So your body's trying to detoxify impurities in that crap that you're putting in there that you think is helping you. And you might think that your fuel, your performance enhancing drugs are giving you this amount of milligrams, whatever you're taking a week, but it's really here. And for the most part, I've seen guys that I find out are taking drugs or say that they're on testosterone and stuff like this, and it looks like it's so fake or so weak that they've diminished. It's actually so poor, the chemical compound they're using, that they're below what their normal healthy maintenance would be. And like it's a complete loss. I have no idea why they're doing it, because you would be able to see in the mirror, you would be able to see the results. I see people lifting and eating and saying that they're enhanced for 2-3 years, and I'm just like, everything's got to be wrong. Not just, I mean, even if the food was just wrong, if the drugs were right, you'd be a lot bigger. You'd have a lot more muscle mass. You would change. There's changes that happen structurally to you, to your jaw, to your face, to your skin. There's a thinness that comes along. There's a water film that comes along, depending where you are in that cycle. So just in general for the public, just be smart, just be logical. Think about your body as the most expensive asset that it is, because you can't fix anything, you can't replace any parts. It's not a car. When something goes wrong, it goes wrong, and you've got problems. Treat it like that. Give yourself good quality food and learn when it's time to have a couple more calories and have something fun and get away with it. But don't make the mistake. Don't make the mistake of falling into the trap and following people's advice that followed advice from someone who followed advice from someone who followed advice, all the way to the top of that pyramid that was a genetic beast. That guy or that girl had six-pack all their life before they went to the gym. They could always consume 5,000-6,000 calories and not feel bloated and not have water weight the next day and too much sodium retention. And the minute that they went to the gym, they got a year's worth of results in 8 weeks. You know, their shoulders, their legs, their body parts all popped out in certain places. And the minute that they took real drugs, they got even better and could do more of the weights and eat more of those indulging fun foods. You're here at the bottom of the pyramid. You're in Joe Schmo's local gym, taking Joe Schmo's local supplements, and you've got Joe Schmo's life, and you're eating Joe Schmo's crap food, and you've got a Joe Schmo body to show for it. So don't do it. Be smart. Think to yourself, where do I want to be in 10, 20, 30, 40 years? Where do I want to be in my 40s and in my 50s and in my 60s with my digestion, with my skin, with my performance, with my body? Am I doing something right now that's getting me closer to that or further from that? Because 99.9% of you guys are nowhere near the elite that are going to make it in that top 1% bracket in bodybuilding that's worth it to make any sort of an income. You know, a decent show, the most you're going to get out of it is like $4,000 or $5,000. That's 4 or 5 months worth of work and food and drugs and travel and hotels to get on a stage. It's an expensive sport. You get paid nothing for it. So unless you're at that top level, and you would know if you were at that top level, because somebody would have called you out, especially with social media, and told you, you know what, you've got the juice. You've got what it takes to be the best. And no one said that to you. And you're still eating that crap like those guys that are the best are. So you're going to lose on both ends of it. Treat yourself good. Take it easy. Think about it as a marathon. Love the sport, love the gym, love trying to transform your physique, love the mindset, the discipline, the consistency, the lifestyle, the friendships you make in there. Take the good out of it, but don't take the bad out of it. Don't mix up the lines of where you are and where some of that information is coming from. Think twice about it, do your research on it, speak to people that always are ahead of you, as I always say. You know, look at people that are further down the road, that are exactly where you want to be, and ask them their advice. And they'll tell you the truth, and you'll make quick decisions on what you're doing is right or wrong. And if you really love the sport and you're some gym rat and you really, really love CrossFit or powerlifting or bodybuilding or just going to the gym, and you're willing to take certain risks, ask people at the top. Drop your ego, send them your picture, send them your video of you doing those lifts and say, do I have the juice? Do I have what it takes to be at your level? And you got to be willing for them to say, fuck no. But you look good for an average everyday person. Enjoy it. It's the best thing you can do. It's a good addiction to be in there in the gym, instead of watching Netflix and eating crap. But for the most part, you guys are going to the gym and then eating the crap, putting it back in your body, and you're not getting the results. You're wasting your time and you're wasting your money. I hope this can bring you guys some value. If you guys have any questions, all my links and information are in the bio. You can text me, email me, hit me up on any of the social media platforms. Stay good to yourself, stay true to yourself. Let nothing and nobody get in the way of the life that you want to live.